Hey guys, and welcome to some more Star Citizen. I get a lot of questions every day, pretty much, about when do I think certain patches and releases will be coming out, what versions will contain what. Today I'm going to do a vague roadmap of events and releases leading us into early 2017. As patch 2.5 could be released literally to live any day now, we're going to focus more on 2.6 and other features all the way up to 3.1 and talk a little bit about Squadron 42 Episode 1 as well. As a disclaimer, I'd like to say I'm basing any info here on stuff that I could discern from monthly reports, Gamescom interviews, and other info that might be in flux, might be slightly incorrect or totally incorrect. Obviously, I'm not a dev, so any guesses I make will be as educated as possible, but it is, at best, a guess for a lot of this stuff. And I'll put a link in the description to an article, and I'll update that with info as we know more. Delta patching is something I want to talk about very briefly before we go in further. This is going to be added as soon as it's humanly ready. That's the downloading of small patches and small updates, rather than pretty much having to download the whole game like we are at the moment. As soon as that's ready, that's going to get added. Don't know when that's going to be. That could be in a week. That could be in 2017. Who knows? But I don't. Right, let's move on to 2.6. So, Star Citizen Alpha 2.6, I'm expecting this early October, based on how much time they've got left in the year to get 2.6 and then 3.0 out. So the big thing with 2.6 is obviously Star Marine, which is going to be the competitive FPS and tactical team-based action. Loads of improvements for the FPS as well will be filtered onto the mini persistent universe. There's going to be a custom arena combat zone with 0G and general on-foot combat combined that we haven't seen yet. There's remastered FPS weapons, improved ground and 0G movement and controls, as well as new custom characters, avatars and improved models, which is going to be a lot better. We know that they're probably going to be releasing the female model at the same time. Let's hope that is still the case. Arena Commander is getting some love in 2.6 as well. This is very much an Arena Commander Star Marine patch. The SCM flight and combat controls and the way that the flight is kind of done will be getting some improvements. There's going to be improved cameras helping us YouTubers and other people get some better footage. There's going to be various gameplay improvements. An asteroid slalom race in Grimhex will also be added. I think that's probably going to be added to the mini persistent universe. I'm not sure if it's going to be added as a track in Arena Commander. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, there's also a new multiplayer deathmatch area as well, which is going to be absolutely fantastic, and new ships. So, in general, they're moving away from hangar-ready ships, because now in the pipeline, they are so close to being flight-ready when they're hangar-ready that they might as well just make them hangar-ready. Ben's basically confirmed this on an episode of Ben's Day with Batgirl. So the next ships we're going to get flight-ready with 2.6 will be the Herald and the Vanguard Hoplite dropship. Also, in 2.6, they are thinking, hopefully, that the music logic system will be there. So this basically dynamically changes your audio, music, and like atmospheric background sounds based on your situation, which is pretty cool. We saw it in the 3.0 demo, and I'm looking forward to seeing it hopefully in 2.6. CitizenCon is on October the 9th. It's quite possible that if 2.6 is ready around this time, that they'll hold off until CitizenCon before its release. There's also been some suggestions of what we might see at CitizenCon. So we're hoping to see Planets 2.0. We saw version 1, basically, of the planets in the 3.0 alpha demo, but 2.0 should have a lot more features like vegetation, water, oceans, a lot of polish. It's also the artist's tools for creating a much more detailed artist-driven planet on top of the procedural tech and various other improvements. They do want that most detailed kind of planet that they can get without impacting too heavily on time. Also, we're likely to see voice over IP, that was mentioned in an interview, and obviously more previews of what 3.0 might have. There's going to be a new concept ship almost certainly at CitizenCon. It's kind of a tradition. I think it's extremely likely to be the RSI Polaris. It's been hinted at, and people on Reddit and forums have also been thinking that it's going to be that RSI Polaris Corvette. And it makes sense for them to have a concept ship or two at CitizenCon, especially a big one like the Polaris. So also there's likely to be some form of other sale for limited ships at the same time as well. It could be a theme, or it could just be a lot of different ships that are limited. Squadron 42 stuff as well going to be at CitizenCon. So we might see a cleaned up Morrow tour, and we might see some other not too spoilery bits of Squadron 42, maybe some actor interviews. It's all extremely hush-hush for Squadron 42 stuff, so we'll have to kind of wait and see. You might see some more tech behind it, that sort of stuff, but it's hard to discern information about Squadron 42 and exactly what they're up to with that, because it is very behind closed doors. The anniversary live stream is normally around November 19th, mid-November kind of time. This is likely to be a big sale with some extremely limited ships available, maybe an Idris or something like that as well. We're likely to see a variety of bits and pieces that Star Citizen want to show us. So expect more 3.0 previews, expect ships and mechanics being shown off. For early 2017 kind of release and the end of 2016. Maybe the new communication platform, so that's Organizations 2.0 and the website, they might show off what they've been doing with that. That might go live. We're likely to get a lot more information where various ships are in the food chain, as well as where they are chronologically to being completed, how mechanics will work, and a lot more detailed roadmap for 2016-2017. And now on to the biggest release of the year, which should be in early December, which will be patch 3.0, previously named 2.7, and this is a huge patch. So this is going to be planets, maybe version 2.0 as we mentioned earlier, but it should contain planetary landing, atmospheric flight, free roaming on planets, landing zones like Levski that we've seen, but obviously many others as well. The stuff generated on demand here will have procedural elements, but they do want to have more artist-driven feel, and hopefully Planets 2.0 will bring that, a lot more detail, a lot more improvements to the procedural tech. Expect a more polished, featureful version of the 3.0 demo with a lot more exploring of your zones enabled. They also mean to expand the Stanton system to basically be the full system from what I can tell, with ArcCorp, Hurston, Microtech, Crusader, Delamar, new space stations, moons and asteroid belts. They're aiming for 30 to 40 locations, and they're going to be modular space stations here as well, where they can drop in and change and replicate, or make stations look different just by using this modular system that they've already built out. The star systems will be full of detail. They want hundreds of hours of gameplay potential in each system, rather than trying to have billions of different locations. They're going for a more densely packed gameplay area. There was talk of being able to travel across a system, if you want, from one end to another in 20 to 40 minutes in Quantum Jump. Not entirely sure why you'd want to do that, but I'm sure some people will. They are also adding basic professions and jobs into this patch, so piracy, bounty hunting, cargo, trading, and mercenary type stuff. I'd also expect that we'll probably see the beacons that they've talked about previously, where we can kind of invite others to do jobs and that sort of stuff, and like call for help in certain areas. They've also talked about buying and selling being in here, more of an economy, and having that economy is going to be important. I would also expect Dumpers Depot, allowing the purchase of equipment, possibly even ships available with Alpha UEC. Item 2.0 should be coming in as well. This comes with the Inner Thought system, which is the contextual action system, replacing the one we currently have, which is Use with F, which is obviously not as cool as the contextual system. It might also enable repair of components as well. I think that repair is a possible mechanic that they will add in for 3.0, where you'll be able to remove components out of a ship and repair them if they're damaged. I would also expect a stats update on the website showing how equipment has been refactored. That's very important to me, and if it hasn't been done by then I'll do it on my own website. Subsumption 1.0, so this is the AI system which will enable diverse NPC actions. We're going to see NPCs populating the universe a lot more, day and night cycles, NPC combatants, hopefully in FPS. That is one of my assumptions there, very much an assumption rather than just a little bit of an assumption. And also schedules for NPCs. They'll have to work out when and where they're supposed to be doing stuff. Mission system 1.0 as well. This is going to be dynamic missions that can be templated or modular with NPC, AI, economy-driven kind of missions that will be built by an AI system. Events-driven missions where, again, it goes, we need this to go here for this purpose. Expect some missions that you can do, basically, at the very least. Star Network 1.0. So this is the new network code as well. This will be increasing performance, adding more players into servers. This is so essential to Star Citizen, getting that network code overhaul for less laggy, more accurate, stable gameplay. Hopefully that's going to fix most of the issues with desync and with lag, lack of jukes, all that sort of stuff that's important. Ships and vehicles. We're definitely going to see the Urza Rover and Drake Dragonfly here, possibly some others, and we'll talk about that in a bit. So now moving into late December, possibly early 2017, with Squadron 42 Episode 1 being released. We should know more from Gamescom, but I'm expecting Squadron 42 Episode 1 by the end of 2016, though some people and some of us think that it could reasonably get moved to early 27 release, or that they might even release part of the episode at the end of 2016, so some form of prelude or half the missions or something in late 2016 and the rest in early 2017. We will have to wait and see. As I said, the Squadron 42 stuff is very, very hush-hush, and they don't really give out much of the dates information at the moment. Now moving slightly further away to Alpha 3.1. It was said in some interviews that maybe mining and salvage might possibly come in 3.1. If they're sort of adding those kind of mechanics, then that's a great sign. So I'm very much looking forward to all of the extra mechanics and things that we need to flesh out the world to actually have those economies there. Mining and salvage, incredibly important. I also expect to see a few extra ships in 3.1 as well. I suspect the pipeline is very efficient for the rate they can now get ships flyable. So also some info that I can't really place on the timeline because I don't know enough about what's going on, even with guesstimations. So we're likely to see these ships flyable at some point between now and early 2017. The Constellation Aquila, because they know they're working on it, the Caterpillar, because we know it's almost done, and there's definitely going to be more work, and we'll definitely see more from the Carrack as well. And I suspect that we might see something on the Banu Merchantman, maybe in like a holiday live stream, or maybe in Around the Verse very soon. I suspect that they're holding onto that ship and they want to show it off, like, we've done some of it, haha! Also, they talked a little bit about the Hurricane no longer being a starter ship. It's going to have a similar evolution to the Terrapin, so they've probably moved it off its original role, and we'll see more of that in the future. Anyway, guys, that was my rough guesstimation roadmap based on a mixture of educated guesses and what's been discerned from interviews. Obviously, that information is in flux, and blockers and things occur. Features will get added if they're ready. Features will get removed and pushed onto the next patch if they're not. But it's a very, very exciting time for Star Citizen. A lot of the stuff has now been streamlined, and they're making so much progress with every patch now. 2.6 and 3.0 are going to be huge, and I would expect huge, huge content updates from every patch after 2.5 onwards. Anyway, if you'd like to win a Drake Dragonfly, please don't forget to comment on any of my videos during the month of August, and that will put you in for a chance to win that. Also, liking and subscribing genuinely does help me. In the comments below, if you'd like to put down what your favourite ships are, or what feature you're most excited for, what you're hoping they're going to unveil at a certain time of the year, all that sort of stuff. Are you really into Squadron 42? Don't you care about single-player games? You're just in for the mini-persistent universe. Stuff like that really actually helps me work out what sort of videos I want to do at what time as well. I'm also trying to promote my Patreon at the moment, so if you feel super generous, you want to help me do budget guides, get hardware for testing, go to events, get hardware for my actual rig and equipment and that sort of stuff. That's the sort of thing that the Patreon stuff allows me to do, and I am so appreciative for that. Thank you so much for that, guys. Also, like the filthy little sellout I am, I will be getting some BoredGamer merchandise up, so some t-shirts and stuff, and some lightly themed Star Citizen t-shirts, not encroaching on any IPs. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. You take care, and I'll see you in the verse.